What's up, everybody? It's Johnny Bronto here with HauntScene, and haven't done one of these in a while. I'm bored. I'm like literally, I've got nothing to do tonight, and I have stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna hang out here for a few minutes while people join. And if you have any questions about haunts or Halloween or horror or nope, feel free to put that in the chat. I do need to make one little adjustment here. One moment. Moment. Do. All right. Oh, I see what's going on for that. That needs to be that, right? Hold on one moment. Do. Where are you, mofo? Media source? No? I don't know. What are you? What are you called? You are called a something. Sorry. One moment. Un momento, por favor. I won't worry about it right now. I'll fix it before Tuesday. So, thank you for watching. I do appreciate that. And first thing I want to do is I want to do a very quick audio test with you all. Let me get into the chat here. What's up, Robert? What's up, William? So, I want to turn a little thing on and off, and I want you to let me know if you're watching if there's a difference here. Okay, I made an audio adjustment. I've been fighting. It gets a little hot in the studio because it's like basically my lanai and I have my ceiling fan on. But if I don't turn on a audio, like a noise suppression filter, you can hear it a little bit, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to turn something off, and you let me know if you hear a difference. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to turn it off and ready. Go. Okay. So let's see if there is a little bit of a difference here. See, even when I'm looking at the microphone meter, I can see it's moving without me even talking. So it looks like it's picking up a little bit of background audio. So the reason I bring this up is because I usually at some point listen to the podcast version, which is the recorded version of what we do live on Tuesdays and Thursdays in October. And I noticed that sometimes the audio is a little uneven, like it gets cut off a little bit. So let me see which one's better. So this is better than it was? Seriously? All right, let me know. I am so excited about Nashville Nightmare. Ugh. You know, we're going to get into the road trip in a moment. I think I'm going to share my screen and I'll show you kind of like what we're looking at. And we started off with 7 haunts, and then it went to 9, and it may possibly go to 11. So we're going to do Georgia and Tennessee and Kentucky. We'll stop in Ohio just for a bit, and we'll do Indiana. And some of these haunts are really close to each other. So yeah. Killer shirt. Thank you. Love it. Love it. This one sounds more natural, but is there like a background noise in it? Let me know. That's really what I want. I'm trying to find like a perfect balance, and you know how you overtune things? I feel like I've been overtuning things here. I don't want to have any sort of audio background stuff at all. I need to put Kevin Cleveland's picture back up right here. I'll have to do that after the show. All right, well, maybe I won't mess with it, or maybe this sounds better, because if it sounds better, I'll just leave it. I'll leave it here. So that being said, with the road trip, one little quick tidbit, because I'm going to talk about the logic of road trips, is usually we start off with one haunt. We're like, we have to go to this haunt. This is the haunt. It's not really, I don't like to call it the centerpiece, but everything has to start somewhere. So one year it was like Netherworld, and another year it was like Dent, and another year it was Red Vein, and another. So we don't put one haunt over another, but you have to start somewhere. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna leave that turned off. So in this case, to finish my thought, we know Logan Sharp, the GM, now at Nashville Nightmare, and I'm really looking forward to visiting that, because he's a good friend of ours now. And yeah, so we're looking forward to visiting there. Okay. All right. So Sorry, I've got the audio thing right here, and I'm just looking at the chat. So that is that. So I guess I'll leave it like this then. I guess I don't need to add anything on there. What's up, Miss Fanny Burns? What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in on Facebook. I do appreciate that. See, this is yeah, Zombie Bar Crawl coming up in August. Actually, this Thursday, we're doing a show on Tuesdays and Thursdays, pretty much from now through the end of August. This will be our first like kickoff week for doing 2 shows. Tuesday, we're going to be talking to our friend Maximus, who I hopefully got through the auditions today for Dent again, because we love Maximus in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's like my clone. So we'll be talking to him again on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we'll be talking about the Zombie Bar Crawl that we're going to be a sponsor for in Daytona, Florida in August. So that's only a couple weeks away. So that ought to be really, really exciting and really fun. Really liking that. Let's do, let me actually bring that up. I think I have the image there. Yep, Zombie Bar Crawl. Yep, August 13th, Daytona, Florida. So if you want to come out and hang out with HauntScene, I'll be there. I don't know if anybody else in the crew will be there, because I think Melissa's in Connecticut. I don't know about everybody else, but our friends Jeremiah and Kira will be there from Misfits Unmanaged. And Kira's doing the makeup, or some of the makeup, so should be a good time. We'll probably get some good content out there, right? Miller's Thrillers, yep, could be a possibility. So yeah. So that is kind of sometimes where the difficulty lies when it comes to the road trips, is not knowing where to go. So we have to rely on a couple different resources. We have to rely on like word of mouth, our friends in the area, people making suggestions. If all else fails, sometimes, no offense to the Scare Factor, but I'll go to the Scare Factor just to see what haunts or whatever area, because I've actually heard of like lots and lots of haunts, or I've met people or crossed paths with them, or we met them at Trans World or Midwest Haunters Convention or one of the other conventions, and we know that a lot of haunts exist. Sometimes we just don't put person with person. For example, a couple of years ago, I did the bus tour for Midwest Haunters Convention, and on the back of the bus, I was sitting with like Eddie McLaurin from Woods of Terror, Rick Gonchi from Brighton Asylum in New Jersey, and we ended up visiting those. So yeah, and sometimes I don't realize it till I get there, which is pretty cool, right? Yeah, so yeah, we are doing like 40 haunts this year, which is just like insane. We've been doing 30 consistently for the last 2 years, which is already pushing it, but we're going even further this year. I'm super duper excited. We're doing a bonus bus tour for the ultimate haunt tour in Michigan in November. So you should go to that if you're watching this. And that'll be a good time. It's 12 haunts. It's like $400. It ends up being like $30 a haunt. They're all full show characters, everything except one. I don't know which one that is yet. But some of the ones that we visited, Azra, I've been to Erebus, I've been to Hush Haunted Attractions. We've actually been to the old and the new location for Hush. Those are all awesome and really cool. So, but they've got like Eloise and Exit 13 and The Haunt and a couple other ones that I've never been to, and I'm really excited, because actually I'm from Detroit, Michigan, the area, so I'm really looking forward to that. So that'll be like the icing on the cake. And then we have the whole state of Florida, so we'll do everything we can get our hands on here in Florida, and we have the road trip, and who knows what the hell else we're going to get up to this year. You know, Melissa will be going to California to do Halloween Horror Nights out there, so we're gonna be. Who does 40 haunts? Who does that? Literally, who does that? So that's going to be really fun. Maybe the Legendary Haunt Tour, if I can get into that right there. It's funny, is the Legendary Haunt Tour, we did like our own version of that last year, because we went to Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So we ended up hitting, I think, all the haunts on the Legendary Haunt Tour except Mortuary. Mortuary, when we got to New Orleans, at that point, I don't know if it's still the case, but you had to have your vaccination card and we were all vaccinated, but none of us thought to bring our cards. And everything in the city of New Orleans last year during spooky season, if you wanted to go do anything indoors, you had to have your card. So we had to drop that one off the list. That's another thing that happens on the road trips, is sometimes the schedule has to change like on the fly. We make plans, and that's another thing that makes it hard for us, is I have to plan around the previous year's calendar, because I look at the haunts, like what days they're open, how, when they open up, in the, like when they actually open, the time when they close, and we have to work around that and try to fit as many haunts as we can, because if we're going on a road trip and spending a lot of money to travel and hotels and eat and merch and all that stuff, we're trying to at least do 2 haunts a night, and sometimes we just don't know. So I'll bring up the current plan, but it is subject to change. It always subject to change. We had to drop Sweet Dreams Scare House because they weren't open. I don't know if the schedule had changed, but they were not open the night that we were in the area. So when we put out it's kind of a blessing and a curse. When we put out the actual road trip, we put that there, and it's cool because we get a huge response. People are really interested. They love us going on the road trips, and we tag all the haunts that we're going to or planning on going to. But then we get a lot of folks that are like, oh, well, we didn't make the cut. It's not like don't take it that way. It's not like we're trying to pick one haunt over another. There are a lot of factors that go into what haunts we end up going to. A lot of it's convenience and how close they are in proximity to each other, and and do we have somebody we know there, or somebody that's invited us, or whatever, because it's a multi-step process that I go through whenever I reach out to the haunts. So if you are a aspiring haunt media personality or whatever, this is the process that I use. I usually hit up the haunts on Facebook, and just to say hi. Here, I have a little statement prepared. I'm Johnny Bronto, HauntScene. Here's what I do, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll ask if they have like a media email or press contact or whatever, somebody that handles that. And then they'll usually give me their email. And then I'll shoot them our media kit, because we have actually a professional media kit to show that we have a body of work. We're not just doing this for free tickets. I shoot them usually an example of the show. This year I've been sending them the episode that we covered for our road trip last year, just to show like here's what to expect, in addition to all the content that we're going to be creating when we're there. This year's going to be a lot different than last year. Last year we had some confusion on the team as to who was doing what, and this year everybody's role is much clearer. I'll be the schmoozer, I'm the networker, I'm the one setting things up, making sure everything goes well, and then Kira's a photographer, Melissa does the stories, Josh will be doing like the vlogs. We're actually going to be doing YouTube vlogs this year, which will be a change for us, and then Shelby will be doing Instagram, like reels and stuff like that. So and we'll all probably still cross do things and take pictures and whatever, but everybody has a clear focus when they get to the haunts, because when we get there, it's like a football huddle. It's like, okay, we're here, blah, 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 break, go. And then everybody does their own thing. So I think everybody having a clear role this year will have better quality content, more content, and I think we'll do more for the haunts. I mean, we do a lot for the haunts, but I think this year will be pretty exceptional. Yeah. Should check out Folklore this year if we can. We actually went to a Folklore 2 years ago. We went to Ackworth. There was a cool bar in Ackworth too, and we loved Ackworth. The downtown area was really, really cool. So we've been there. This is the hard part here, is we go to these haunts, and I love them so much, and we look to have a good time. Like, we look to have a good time at everywhere we go, and sometimes, we go to a haunt, and they're like, oh yeah, we'll wait to see what we're gonna do next year, and come on back, and things like that. And we love that because we have a good relationship with all the haunts that we work with or visit, but we gotta go somewhere else. That's the hard truth about being part of HauntScene, is we have long-term goals, And my long-term goal for the show is to do one haunt in every state. And I can only do 3 or 4 states a year. So we don't get a chance to do a lot of repeats. Sometimes if we are in a certain region and we are able to, we will stop by one. Like for example, you can't really go through Georgia without going to Netherworld. You just can't. I mean, they will literally pull you over if you step in Georgia at all and you try to leave Georgia. They will pull you over at the border, and they will. If you haven't done Netherworld, they will. I think that it's law there. You have to do that. And same thing in like Cincinnati with like the Dent Schoolhouse. You know, we love Ben, we love Bud from we love Ben from Netherworld, we love Bud from Dent. So if we're ever in the region, it's like you can't. It's like being in Detroit. Like you can't go to the Detroit area without going to Erebus and seeing Ed there. So there's a rhyme or reason why we do things. On the surface, I know it. I feel like some people take it the wrong way, like we're excluding people on purpose, or we don't think the haunt's good enough, or whatever. But there are so many layers and factors and X factors and scheduling and timing and driving and all this stuff. There's so much that goes into this big jigsaw puzzle of a road trip. I don't think people understand. And another thing is when we do announce the road trip, it's a region. It's like a couple states or areas or little pockets or whatever. Usually it's like a loop, you know, like we go through Florida because we're in the bottom southeastern part of the U.S. So we always have to go north and then cut over, or cut up, or cut that way or whatever. And you know, and some haunt in Idaho will be like, oh, I guess we're not on the list this year. It's like, I'm not going to Idaho this year. Like, I'm sorry. We'll visit the Haunted Potato Farm next year, right? I don't know. So it's hard, and that's what sucks, you know? I do love revisiting haunts when I can, but we only do this, like, well, unfortunately, I only have the ability to do a road trip like one time a year. So, because we have all the Florida stuff that we have to do, and it's a little, it just gets a little crazy, right? Yeah, we love folklore. So Miller's Thriller, Devil's Dungeon, Slaughterhouse, Nashville Nightmare. Okay, so and then just knowing that the haunts exist, because sometimes maybe a haunt, it doesn't work out, or haunts sometimes get rained out or whatever if they're outdoors or whatever. So we have to kind of move and, you know, shake and shimmy and do what we can, you know. But most haunts are only open from like 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. sometimes maybe midnight, and we spend about an hour. We spend about, maybe, I would say at the minimum, depending on how long the haunt is, we spend probably a minimum of like an hour, 90 minutes to 2 hours at a haunt. So that means we can only do a couple in a night. Now, if haunts are like 5 minutes away from each other, maybe we can do 2 or 3, maybe max, you know. And I don't want to rush through to just do the haunt and leave, because we're there to create content. We're there to take pictures and make reels and stories and things. And sometimes it takes some time to do that, you know. So I'm really looking forward to this year. This every year gets a little crazier and crazier, but it's going to be really, really cool. So if you want to see what we've done, if you go to HauntScene.com and you go to the haunts we visited, you can see, I think we've been to 88 haunts in 18 states or something like that. I was like flubbed the number by 1 or something like that, but who's done that? Like, that's me, by the way. I know that other Melissa's done some haunts, and some other people have done some other haunts in some other areas, but I usually count, like, if you are a member of HauntScene and you visited a haunt, that counts. So yeah, doing 6 haunts across the UK. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I do, you know, people let me know that there are haunts like out of the country, and we'll get there. I mean, Melissa's been to Halloween Horror Nights in Japan. I would like to wrap up the U.S. first, and then maybe we'll start getting overseas. So if it's 18 states, and let's say we do 3 new states a year, And this year, I think it might just be 2 new states. So Indiana, Kentucky. Melissa's been to Nashville Nightmare, but it'll be new for me. So we'll add 2 to the list. So at this juncture, I think we'll be well over 100 haunts after the season that we visited. And every haunt's its own thing. So every time you park your car, that's a separate attraction. We don't count haunts as separate. We don't count haunts as separate. Like trails or houses or anything like that. It's one location equals one haunt, and if it's like Halloween Horror Nights or Hallow Scream, that still counts as one, no matter if you go back years or whatever. Some people like to count like every little trail and experience as like one haunt. I don't do that. So I think they do that to pad their numbers, but no, we've been to 88 different locations in 88 different locations in 18 states since 2015. So this will be our 8th haunt season, right? Yeah. Scream Aloud. Let me know where that is. Let me know where that is. Yeah, you just put it in my brain. That's the thing. Put it in the brain. Shoot me a DM. Because if we're in the middle of Nebraska or Colorado or Utah, and I've never heard of a haunt, that's how haunts get on my radar. So just let me know. Let me know where that is. Yeah, feel free to reach out. So a couple people here. Busy season, only doing 2 countries this year. Yeah, that's okay. Hey, do any haunt. Any haunts are better than no haunts. That's what we really try to do. That's kind of the whole point of what HauntScene does, is we want to show people what's out there. Because I know I'm repeating myself, but one of the biggest barriers of the haunted attraction industry is people just not knowing that things are there. Not everybody's like super hardcore and does like road trips or whatever like I do, but if I don't know your haunt exists, whether I'm local or whether I'm out of state, if I don't know your haunt exists, how am I ever going to go? How am I ever going to give you my money? The UK haunt scene's getting pretty big now. 35 now, counting. A few years ago only had 15. Well, hell yeah, man, that's awesome. So maybe we'll go to the UK, and it'll probably be my first stop, so I can stock up on Percy Pigs, which are like my guilty pleasure favorite candy ever that you can only get in the UK at Marks and Spencer's apparently. So if you're from the UK, if you want to send me like a case of Percy Pigs, please do so. I would appreciate that. That would be awesome. So Simon and Julie, I'm giving you some homework. Go get me some Percy Pigs. Yep. So I need as many as you can ship me, right? That's it. This is it. People will visit and they will bring me like a bag or 2, and that is awesome. And I love them, and they are like crack. They're pretty sure there's like there's some English equivalent for cocaine inside of the candy because it's amazing. What are your thoughts on the vegan Percy Pigs? I think I tried them. I think I think I was pretty neutral about them. I could swear I had them a couple years ago. One of my exes, Lindsay, actually moved to England. I drove her out of the country. I'm just kidding. But she moved there and she sent me a bag of those as well. So yeah. 48 kilograms. What's that in pounds? And I mean English pounds. No, I mean American pounds of weight, not English pounds of currency. Right? Awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I love that. Just keep it Percy Pigs. And we have like a bunch of folks that are from England that live in Florida, and there are a bunch of like stores that have stuff like Earn Brew or whatever, and from the UK, but they never have Percy Pigs, man. It's like, what the hell? Damn it. All right. I don't need I don't want to die, but I love Percy Pigs. Okay, so what else? Okay, let's do this. I'm going to show you my current road trip. And like I said, it is subject to change, and there might be some things that change or are on here or are not on here. So let me see if I can just save this real quick. This is the loose plan. Hold on one second. All right, let's do that. I'm gonna put this here. All right, save. All right, let me see if I can implement this. This is the magic of live television. All right, so where are you? There we go. Oh, let me turn off Harlow's Haunt right there. That was last week. That was an awesome show. Very cool. All right, so let's see. Let me get this in here. So once again, subject to change. And another thing, and this is something that I'm not a fan of, is we don't put one haunt over another. But sometimes when we put things out, I will have characters or owners or whatever reach out to me like, "Don't go to that haunt. That haunt sucks." I don't like that. I would hope that the haunt industry, I know people aren't like this, some people are islands, but the vast majority of the haunt industry likes to support each other, and I appreciate that. Let me pull this one in right here. Just give me a second. Magic of live television, everybody. I just had to get that image. Where are you? Let's get... let me... Here's an old road trip. Let's put this one on here. Okay, so real quick, here's an old road trip. So once again, we had planned to go to Sweet Dreams, but we couldn't because they weren't open the night that we were in the area. And then sometimes like, oh, we'll come back the next night. We're like, we can't. We it's a very particular schedule. We're flexible like the night of, but we don't have the ability to go in and come back usually. So that was the trip. Usually there is a purpose, like why we're going to a certain haunt. We had to go to Red Vein. I've told the story before, but we owed them something, or at least HauntScene kind of, even though it wasn't really our fault, but there was a situation where we kind of like felt the need to make sure that we covered them and did the things. And remember, we're not reviewers. We're not there to say this haunt is a 9 out of 10 or whatever, 12 pumpkins out of 15 or whatever. We're there to promote everybody. Like we're a travel show. We want to promote the industry. We're not there to review or say one haunt is better than another. All right, so that was that one. That's just an example. Let me change this over to this year. All right, so this is this year. Once again, subject to change, but this is kind of what we're looking at for this year. So this is the road trip right here. So we're gonna go up through Netherworld because you can't go through Georgia without going to Netherworld. That'll be like Wednesday because Netherworld's really flexible. They're open like every night, so that's really a good place to start. In Netherworld's just amazeballs. And then the next, we're gonna go north to Mysterious Mansion in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. That one is open during the day, so we'll probably be there like right when it opens to get that one done. And then we're gonna head towards Cincinnati, the border of Cincinnati and Kentucky, and we'll do hopefully the USS Nightmare and Dent. They're really close. They're really like across a bridge from each other, so we should be able to get both of those in one night. Really excited. And then maybe a third one. And then apparently everything in Indianapolis is pretty close together. So the original one was Necropolis that we're going to stop there. I believe the owner of that owns Haunted Hotel, which is south in Kentucky. 13th Hour, that's a recent addition to the list. Nightmare in Edgewood, Maximus, our buddy Maximus from Dent said that we should check that one out. American Horrorplex, Haunted Hotel, Baxter Avenue Morgue. These are all really close together, so we can probably get those done. And then right now in Nashville, where Nashville Nightmare is, that's the only one we have on that night. But usually by the time we get to the final night of haunts, we're exhausted because it's just go, 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 go. So usually we take it easy that last haunt night. And then we have a pretty sizable drive home from Tennessee all the way down to Florida. So that's what we got going on right there. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. Around 70 pounds of Percy Pigs. Hell yeah, let's do it. I'm down. I am down with that. So that's what we got going on as far as the road trip this year. Really excited about it. Looks like an epic trip. Now keep in mind we still do everything in Florida. So, and then we got the Ultimate Haunt Tour in Michigan. And then we'll see, man. It just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And then once again, there are sometimes there are budgetary restrictions, and there are some things that we don't really get into publicly on the air about why we do certain things. It's never like we're never doing it maliciously. So if we're in your area and we just don't get a chance to go to your haunt, sorry. I wish I could, if I had a gazillion dollars, like when I win Mega Millions, here's my Mega Millions tickets. When I win Mega Millions, hopefully nobody won last night or Friday. When I win Mega Millions, I can travel around and do haunts and visit all of them, and I'll just buy like an RV or something crazy and just do this all season. But until then, we have a finite amount of time, a finite amount of nights, a finite amount of PTO that we can take off of our day jobs, a finite amount of money, and a finite amount of calendar dates that work for the haunts. And yeah, so that's why we do what we do. Yep. What's up, Tyler? Yeah, I'm just talking about like what we're looking at doing this year, and trying to give some little insight as to why we do what we do. It's at this point, because we're at the end of July, it's a big puzzle piece, and I have confirmed, what do we got here? 3, 6. Oh my God, I think I've confirmed 3 or 4 of the haunts. But I have messages out to all of them and emails out to some of them. I like to follow a sequence of stuff, and I have like a spreadsheet, and I keep track of who I've reached out to, when I reached out to them, have I confirmed, what dates, whatever. But yeah. But we're kind of bursting at the seams right now when it comes to the haunts. So we'll see. We will see. Yep. And I know at some point, because we kind of do circles that overlap, that's kind of how we pick our regions. So if we do get a chance to come back through your area, that would be when we could do like a return visit. The loose plan for the next 2 years is we have to wrap up the Northeast, because we still have Maine and Vermont and Rhode Island to do, and that might be one, and we'll probably stop by like Legends of Fear and see our friends there, Brad, and probably stop by Haunted Overload again, because you just can't go to those areas without doing like especially Haunted Overload. And then there'll be another one. We have to do a trip, New York, maybe Pennsylvania, and West Virginia, and Maryland. So we've already been in New Jersey. So, like I said, overlapping circles, and then we'll have basically everything like east of the Mississippi done at that point. And that's where it's gonna start to get a little crazy, because everything in the east of the Mississippi is all tiny states that are all really close together. When we start going west, we start getting into like Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas. I'm looking at our map actually on the other side of the wall right there. That's where things are going to start to get a little bit more difficult, because one, these might be out of range for actually flying, driving. So they may not be road trips, they might be flying trips. And if they're flying trips, that's a whole other level of expense, having to rent a car and drive, probably rent a car at one state and drive down through a couple other states and drop off the car at the airport when we fly back home. But at that point, it's literally going to be only 3 states a year, like max, because these states are huge and they're all really spread out. So unless I can catch haunts on the border, that will be the only way that we can do that. Yep, yeah, looking forward to Mysterious Mansion. We did reach out to them, haven't heard back yet. I got their email, but I haven't, and I've sent them our media kit, but I haven't confirmed with them yet. And we have kind of a new, we don't like have policies or whatever, but we have a body of work at this point that really speaks for itself, and I don't have an ego about what I do, but we're not asking for free tickets. If people offer, cool, helps with costs, and most do. I'm not all cards on the table. Most of us are cool with us having us out. But if we make a legitimate effort to reach out to a haunt over the span of 2 months and we can't get a hold of them, we're gonna have to swap it out for something else. So that it just is what it is, unless it's something like we have to do. And then if I have to buy tickets, we'll buy tickets. You know, usually one or two haunts on the road trip we have to buy tickets for, and we'll do it. I mean, you know, that's the thing. That's the difference between us and a lot of the other haunt media, is if people weren't getting crap for free, they wouldn't do this. I'd still go. This road trip, none of the things that I've done would change regardless of whether I have to pay my way or not. It just helps. It helps us do more. And we always buy the shirt, and we always buy the merch or whatever, and we try to give as much attention to the haunt as possible. One of the things that we've always done with HauntScene is we try to give more than we get. So, because that's why we're not reviewers. We're just there to show people what's out there, you know? What do we got here? I actually work at a theme park haunt. It's Worlds of Fun at Kansas City, Missouri. One of the characters from the Cornstalkers. Oh, that's cool. Well, when we get to Missouri, I'm trying to locate that on the map. Well, we've done Darkness, and I've done Limp in Missouri through Transworld. But if we're ever going through that state to get to another state like Iowa or Nebraska or Kansas or Oklahoma or Arkansas, maybe we can check out that event. Yep. It's a big puzzle piece. It's crazy, you know. But it's fun. At this point in the season, it's always like I feel nervous, and everything it happens the same way every season. Thankfully, is you know, it's very slow in the beginning. You know, as much as I love haunts, they're not very easy to get a hold of in July, you know, because they're planning, or they haven't opened the doors back up yet to build new stuff or whatever, you know. So haunts they're kind of dormant right now, and it helps to I just like to let people know well in advance that we're coming, right? They don't have to give us anything, but I just want them to know that we were there. Yep. And then we do all the things. We tag all the things. We usually do a little preview, you know. And then another layer of everything is one of my requirements when we go on the road trip with my team is I want to have a sit-down dinner every night. So we have to kind of work that in with the road trip as well. And sometimes we don't know where to eat. So we have to ask the haunts or the characters or the people in the area where to go. And actually, Ackworth, man, they had that. I forget what the hell it was, but man, there was like a little pub or something that was really close there, and it had really, really good food. So, yeah. And then in Florida, it's easy. You know, we go to North Florida, we go to Whataburger. When we go to South Florida, we go to Flanagan's. You know, and then we have all the places to eat around here in Central Florida, where we're stationed out of, where HauntScene exists. Yeah. Very cool. I feel like I talked about a lot of stuff there. So yeah, thank you for hanging out here on a Saturday night. Help me do a very quick audio test and you know, doing the things. So yeah. All right. Very cool. I'm gonna hang out here for a few minutes. I do want to show off a couple things that I bought because you know, it's Halloween season and we've been doing all the things. So here's my first thing. I love this guy or girl or it, but this pumpkin with the eyes and the teeth. Look at this. Look at that. He's so cute. Even though he was expensive, it was expensive. It was $15 at home stores. I had to pick this one up. Awesome. And then I did the Bath and Body Works thing. I got the little plug-in light. The lights are cool, and they're little like night light scent things, but they are like $22 each. If they would have been cheaper, I would have bought all of them, but I had to buy the pumpkin one there. And I got all the soaps because they were 5 for $25. I got Perfect Pumpkin. I don't know if it's going to focus or not. There we go. Perfect Pumpkin. I got Vampire Blood. I got Vampire Blood. One of these is like a gel. The other one's like a foaming soap. So I got those. I've got Ghoul Friend. Right. Pretty cool. I got another one. I think this is another Ghoul Friend. Yeah. So this one is a gentle foaming hand soap, and the other one is a cleansing gel hand soap. So these are pretty cool. Yep. And you gotta stock up on the spooky soaps because they gotta last you a whole year until the next year. So I got all those. We've been doing a lot of content at the stores and posting it on Instagram. Instagram's kind of like our main thing right now. I wish I could be doing the show on Instagram, and but it is what it is. Yep. Let's see, what else did I get? I got this little guy. Michaels doesn't have a ton of stuff out, but I saw this little ghost and I thought of HauntScene. I thought of Buki, so I had to get this one. He's cute, right? $4, pretty cheap. And then I also bought some things from Home Goods. Home Goods has like a ton of crap out. So I got this little guy. I actually bought all the ghosts last year, but this little guy is so cute. Look, he's like a little ghosty devil guy, and it is $12.99. So that's like a pretty good deal. So I have like 5 or 6 of these already, just different styles. And then they have little succulents here, and I'm a sucker for succulents. I'm a sucker for succulents. So they have like a little skull succulent, and these are only like $8. So that was cool. And then they had one more, this little pumpkin guy with the succulent right there with the hat. Kind of looks like a pineapple. That was cool. So yeah, I like to spend the monies on the Halloween things in the season. Oh my God, he's got like a little tail. Look at that, he's got a little tail. That's cute. I love cute Halloween stuff. How long have I been talking? Oh my God, 42 minutes? Jesus, John, shut up. So if you're watching this and or if you have any questions about why we do things or something, feel free to reach out to us. Email us, hauntscene@gmail.com. Shoot me a DM on any platform or HauntScene on everything, and I'll be honest with you. I had a haunt reach out to me today when we put out our calendar for our haunt previews. I only have X amount of spots, and they fill up pretty quick. And yeah, so stuff. Cool. Well, that is fun. Thank you all for hanging out. I do appreciate that. On where are we on? We're on Twitter, and we're on Twitch, and we're on Facebook, and we're on Instagram. So yeah, so that is the plan, at least for now. And oh man, I probably should have put it on main camera when I was showing off the stuff. Oh, I'm a fail. God. All right. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate you. You're all amazing. And we got 2 shows this week. We got a bunch of shows coming up in August. And that's what I like to call Hell Month, because we do 2 shows a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then what we do is the first couple weeks of September, that's when the theme park haunts open up here. So usually we do a preview of like Horror Nights, and then we'll talk about it the following Tuesday, and then we'll do a preview of Howl-O-Scream, and then talk about it the following Tuesday, and then we'll do our Florida haunt preview and talk about the specific haunts we're doing in Florida. And then the structure of the show, and it really hasn't changed because it's not broken, so I'm not going to fix it. But we'll do a bunch of haunts over a weekend. North Florida one weekend, South Florida another weekend, Central Florida another weekend. And whatever we do on the weekend, we will talk about it the following Tuesday. And that usually gets us through the season. So 40 haunts. Crazy. Yep, it's going to be awesome. All right, folks. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I do appreciate all your support. Follow us on Patreon. Follow us on all the things. This was just a rando pop-up stream. I just felt the need to broadcast and talk, and I think maybe I need to verbalize a lot of things that I don't actually get to say out loud, because I probably internalize a lot of this stuff. But there's a rhyme or reason for everything we do, and it's never malicious, and we're just trying to help where we can, how we can. So I do appreciate everything the haunt industry's given us as far as recognition goes, and we love making new friends and new family. So that's going to be it for me. But make sure you tune in on Tuesday. We're going to have Maximus on the show. Really excited about that. And that's going to be it for me tonight. So 45 minutes in. This is another one of those ramble streams. I haven't done one of these in a while. So that's going to be it. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Till next time, spook easy and happy haunting. And I'll see you soon. Bye.